Hey, I'm Bryce Menzies. We're out here in Las Vegas, Nevada to break down my new 2014 Polaris XP1000. Since this build happened, I've only driven this car in the parking lot at my shop, so I'm really looking forward to getting out here, ripping it up, and see what this thing can do. Yeah, you know, I kind of came up with this concept of racing trophy trucks and stuff. I wanted to get a Polaris 1000 and just something to have fun with, not go too extreme with it, and kind of working with UTV Underground and Magnum Off-Road, and they were the ones that pretty much put this whole build together, and just going back and forth with them, giving my ideas, kind of what I wanted to do, you know, make it somewhat like the trophy truck look, but just fun to go out in the desert and rip around and have fun in this thing. The biggest thing that I wanted to do with the thing was put a cage on it, make it you know, look a little bit nicer and a little bit more safe. So Magnum Off-Road, you know, they did a killer job on it. It's really safe in case of anything happening, rolling it or anything like that. So we threw a red color on it kind of to blend off the Red Bull style, and I think it turned out really well. When I drove the car at the beginning, the stock suspension was awesome. But I knew with Fox on my trophy truck and my short course stuff, they just came out with some new suspension for this thing, Fox 3.0 for the rear. So they sent me that right up, threw them on the car, and right away when I went out and tested this thing, it's just unbelievable what it does to change the car and the dynamics of it, and it just makes it go through the desert that much better. Coming from my background with trophy truck, I beat stuff up a lot. So with this Polaris 1000, I wanted to beef up some of the stuff on it, and starting in the back, you know, I had Assault build me some radius bars for the rear that are a lot beefier and will withstand, you know, driving through whoops and hitting rocks and stuff like that. And then going to the front, I kind of wanted to leave the arms stock because they're plenty strong on this car. So all we did was just make the tie rods a little bit stronger from Assault. They have great product and they helped us out with that stuff, so it'll be a lot stronger for those heavy loads that we're gonna be sliding into berms and through whoops and stuff like that. It will withstand that. So for wheels and tires, what I did was I wanted to go with something a little bit more beefy since I'm taking this thing out in the desert, pound through some rocks and big whoops and stuff. So, you know, I went to my companies, KMC Wheels and BFG, and came up with a concept that would fit me out in the desert. KMC Wheels doesn't make a wheel for these Polaris RZRs, so they kind of collaborated with OMF Wheels and came out with this 15-inch wheel that, you know, turned out amazing. And then what we put on top of that, as far as rubber, was I went to BFG and kind of talked to them a little bit what would work the best, and we came up with a KM2 30-inch height, 15-inch wheel, and I think it's the perfect combination for out here in this desert. For exhaust, what we wanted to do on this car was, you know, make a little bit more power and then also have a nice sound to it. So, you know, there's only one option out there for me, and it was Muzzies. They came on board, and you know, this exhaust sounds so good on this car. Gave it a little bit more power, so, and it's working really good right now. And when you're out in the desert, you always know something could always happen, and you always have to have lights on these cars. So I called my boys at Rigid Industries, and they hooked this car up. We got a big bar in the front. We did 4 underglow lights that are red, a bunch of tail lights from them, and just unbelievably at night you could pre-run this thing as fast as you want, and you're never gonna outrun these lights. So great job from them guys. Being that we're gonna use this car out in the desert a lot, we went to our boys at Rugged Radio and had them hook us up with a radio communication system where me and the co-driver could talk back and forth to each other. And then also, in case we're using this thing down in Baja to pre-run, we could talk back and forth from the chase truck as well. One thing about off-road racing, it always seems like you're driving into the sun. So one of the cool features that we did on this car was we put a flip-down visor. No matter what, when you're driving, you can flip it down and still be able to see where you're going. So for 2014, I came out with a whole new design for my off-road program with the trophy truck, and I wanted to incorporate it onto my new Polaris 1000. So we brought the guys in from Patrick Signs to come over and wrap this thing with my camo blue design with Red Bull. You know, it kind of ties everything in with the red cage, the PRP seats with red, you know, and blue. So it's really cool that to pretty much see this thing look exactly like my trophy truck as far as the design work goes. It turned out really well. For the interior of this thing, you know, I wanted it to be comfortable but also safe. So what we did was we went with PRP seats and harnesses to make a 5-point harness, and also have a seat that's a little bit more comfortable and hold your body in place a lot more compared to the stock seats. And just for that safety reason, if anything happens, but also for the comfort of driving out in the desert and strapping yourself in.